What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, hammering Hank Lundy, former world champion, who fought undefeated, 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization, welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. With that said, Hank Lundy, he fought Terence Crawford in February of 2016. He moved up in weight, and he challenged Terence Crawford, in which he was knocked out in the second round of the fight by Terence Crawford, okay? Hammering Hank Lundy was a big puncher. He had multiple losses at the time. Hank Lundy, is now 31 wins, 10 losses. He's 38, 39 years of age. He's not nowhere near the same guy he once was. But with that said, he weighed in on the biggest fight in the sport of boxing between Terence Crawford and undefeated, unified 3-belt WBC, WBA, IBF, Ring Magazine, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, and Errol the True Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. has 28 wins, no losses, no draw. He is 22 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, that makes for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing. Hank Lundy, he stated that he did an interview with YSM Sports. Salute to YSM Sports Media, man. Go subscribe to YSM Sports Media. Great interview they did with Hammering Hank Lundy. And he weighed in on this, right? And he gave good insight. He said that Terence Crawford doesn't have one-punch knockout power. It's accumulation punches, and it's the punches that you don't see from Terence Crawford that get you, okay? He said Terence Crawford has great timing, right? It's not that, he has one-punch knockout power. He said Errol Spence don't have to be concerned with his just one-punch knockout power, but he has to be concerned with Terence Crawford's timing, right? He has extremely long arms and he has great timing, is what Hammering Hank Lundy stated. And then he stated that when they fought, he said he weighed 145 pounds. He came up in weight, right? He weighed 145 pounds same-day weigh-in, and Terence Crawford weighed 160. And when you watch the fight between Hank Lundy and Terence Crawford, you can clearly see there's a size difference, but there's also a skill difference, right? So you guys know I don't like to just put everything on size, but Terence Crawford clearly was a bigger guy in the ring, but there was clearly still a skill difference, right? Hank Lundy was lunging in, maybe that was due to his lack of size, arm reach, and things of that nature, but he was lunging in, he was leaving his feet. Terence, you're not going to beat Terence Crawford like that, right? Hank Lundy had the ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox, but if you watch the first 2 rounds, he was landing big, clean punches on Terence Crawford, right? But Terence Crawford, like I said, that skill set, that mindset, that ring IQ, the ability to compute the information and collect that data and make adjustments. Now, again, here's another fight where people are talking about Terence Crawford's ability to switch from southpaw to orthodox. I am one of those guys. And the more I watch it, the more I realize Terence Crawford is a southpaw. In this fight with Hank Lundy, he stayed southpaw. He didn't switch to orthodox. Hank Lundy switched from orthodox to southpaw to try to give Terence Crawford different looks because he was at a disadvantaged size and skill set, okay? And so Terence Crawford, he got Hank Lundy up out of there, right? But Hank Lundy, you could clearly see it was a size difference. Even the announcers, if you rewatch the fight, there's they have it on YouTube. It's 20 minutes long. It's about 19 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. And you can watch the entire fight, and you can see even announcers are going to start to say, there's a clear size difference. They look like they're 2 weight classes apart. They do. But that's not Terence Crawford's fault. It still was the skill set of Terence Crawford, stepping back just enough out the way, countering Hank Lundy and things of that nature. But it's interesting. Hank Lundy said that when you can get in his chest and you can stay in his chest, he admitted, I couldn't stay in his chest, right? I couldn't, you know, he said he knocked me out. He admitted it. You know, he beat me. He said, but I couldn't stay in his chest. I couldn't do. I didn't have the endurance. He said when you're dealing with somebody who's bigger, stronger, and just as good as you, skill set wise, what is Terence Crawford going to do? Because he needs to create space. This is something I've been saying to everybody, right? Terence Crawford is great in that no man's land, right? In between the mid-range and when you're on the outside, because he has extremely long arms. But when you get inside and in his chest, Terence Crawford, he struggles, right? He's not, you know, the inside fighter that people make it out to be. After I studied Terence Crawford, he's not that comfortable when he's on the inside, okay? And so with that said, Hank Lundy, when he got on the inside, he was having his most success. It's that mid-range to outside, that no man's land area. When you're dealing with Terence Crawford, you're in trouble, right? So Hank Lundy, he says that he's keeping it real, has nothing to do with him losing to Terence Crawford. He sees Errol Spence knocking out Terence Crawford, right? So listen to what Hank Lundy had to say.
How you see that fight?
I'm gonna be real. You know, me and Sean Porter, we actually gave you the blueprint on how to fight Crawford. You know, pressure is a motherfucker at the end of the day. And, you know, they saying it's a 50-50 fight, but what happens when a guy stay in your chest and force you to fight like a dog 24/7? We know Crawford can rumble. We know he like range. But what happens when a person don't get that range? When a person in your chest and Nick, you gotta fight, overexert yourself. We see Crawford get a...
So you see, he says what happens when you can't create the range. You can't create the space, right? And he said that Terence Crawford overexerts himself, right? And that's what Terence Crawford was doing, right? Terence Crawford was Hank Lundy was overexerting himself in the fight with Terence Crawford, and that's what happens when Terence Crawford gets, he likes to be a dog, right? Terence Crawford, he likes to be a dog. He likes to mix it up, right? So that's what Hank Lundy is saying. What happens when Terence Crawford gets touched, right? He overexerts himself, right? And and you're dealing with a guy like Errol Spence, who's bigger, stronger, but just as skilled as he is, right? So listen to what he had to say.
His second win at range. What happened when you in close and you rumbling? You got to get that second win. You taking repeated shots.
So he said that when he fought him, Terence Crawford likes to get that second win, and he likes to get that second win with distance. He wants to create distance, right? Because he's not comfortable as we make it out to be on the inside.
This guy is a big guy like Crawford. I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaning toward Errol Spence. I got a lot of respect for Crawford, but I'm going with Errol Spence in this fight. And I said what I said.
You think the work rate?
So he's going to test to why he's going with. See, this is what I like. When we was listening to Roy Jones or we was listening to Antonio Tarver, well, Tarver was breaking it down, but Mike Tyson, they were saying why they feel like Terence Crawford going to win, but they didn't give you a rhyme and reason as to why they feel like Terence Crawford going to win.
It's going to get him?
The work rate, the consistency, the bigger man, I'm being real. Crawford coming all the way up from 130. Spence, the bigger man. I got Spence, man, and with the better opposition. You know what I mean? Bigger fights.
So he's saying that, again, he fought. Now, he's including himself, right? So he said that Errol Spence has fought the better opposition, right? So he's part of Terence Crawford opposition. So we can't say that he's being biased because he's part of the resume of Terence Crawford. So he's saying that Errol Spence has fought the better opposition.
Crawford, like I said, I can't take nothing away from him. He beat me. You know what I mean? But I got to go with Spence on this fight, man. Knowing boxing, I got to go with Spence.
Now, he stopped everybody at 147 pounds.
Right.
You felt his power.
Right.
So here and once again, shout out to YSM Sports Media. Check out YSM Sports Media on YouTube. And he's going to get into, right now, about the power, right? Now, he was in the ring with Terence Crawford. Now he's going to get into Terence Crawford. He have knockout power. Now, salute to Terence Crawford. He's knocked out 10 of his last 11 opponents.
Who has that advantage in the fight?
I'm gonna keep it real. Like, everybody asked me about Crawford's punching power. It wasn't so much the punching power that got me. it was the overexerting myself. The night of the fight, he was 160. I was 145. So he was naturally the bigger man, weighing down on me. It wasn't so much the punches. I've been in there, the hardest punch I ever fought. I'm not gonna front with Patrick Lopez. He broke my jaw in the second round. I fought through.
But you see, he said that, you know, Terence Crawford was clearly the bigger man in the fight. He weighed 145, Terence Crawford weighed 165.
That was the hardest motherfucker. Punching at him. The switch, you know, it wasn't so much the switching because I was beating him on the southpaw side and I was beating him on the right hand side. I was winning. It was his time. You know what I mean?
I wish. How you feeling, brother? Good.
I don't need the truck.
Oh, you just need the armrest
I'm gonna
itself.
just take the armrest off.
Okay.
You know,
gotcha.
so this way I'll call you and then you can come back tomorrow or whatever and I'll just put it back on.
All right,
You're
perfect.
not without the truck.
All right, perfect.
You know? All
Perfect.
right, so
All
just
right.
give me like 5 minutes and then I'll get it.
All right, got you. Pardon me, people. So you hear what Hank Lundy is saying. He's saying that, you know, it's not the it's the accumulation, right, of Terence Crawford. It's not the one punch knockout bout.
You got to get him into a dog fight for me to catch him. And I was catching him. He was the bigger man. I ain't gonna front. When he sends blood, he's going for the kill. But what happened?
So you heard what he said. He said that once you get Terence Crawford in a dog fight, he's not comfortable in the dog fight.
I mean, but you got to get him into a dog fight for me to catch him. And I was catching him. He was the bigger man. I ain't gonna front. When he sends blood, he's going for the kill. But what happened when you got a bigger guy in there, you got to work for that. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of 50-50, but I'm leaning towards Errol Spence. I'm keeping it real, man.
If you had to lay money on the wood, what's the outcome?
I'm going
Errol
with
Spence knockout, Errol Spence decision, but
I got Errol Spence knockout. I'm going to keep it real. If you look at Crawford, you get touched a lot more than he usually did. You know what I mean? Getting hit with dumb stuff. So what happens when you get hit with a bigger guy that's at 47, that's coming down to make 47? What happens? You know what I mean? It's a bigger guy. So I got later round stoppage.
See what so I don't know if Errol Spence stops him, knocks him out. Outcome, I haven't, you know, come to that conclusion for myself. But, you know, I do believe that, you know, that Errol Spence is going to win the fight. And Hank Lundy reiterated everything I've been saying as to why I think he's going to win the fight. And so I believe that, you know, he's going to win the fight because the physicality, once he gets on the inside, you know, Terence Crawford gets hit, he's not as elusive as he once was. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Blue. Peace.